A Ukrainian drone was shot down in our area last week. Wingspan is 6 meters. While they went to look for him to take pictures, the locals took the motor and stole it.
Greetings from Russia. My name is Alexei Vita from St. Petersburg. Our city is called the Northern Capital. On this channel, we will publish the life of bikers in Russia, motorcycle clubs, including one percenters, biker philosophy and Russian realities, the organization of large festivals and rides, and overall, the life of motorcyclists in our country. Feel free to ask questions in the comments and we will do our best to answer them. The video you will see really exists in Russian on our Russian channel. With the help of artificial intelligence, we tried to translate them, adding our comments for better understanding. Greetings from Russia. Let's go! Today we will ride with Alexander Yeti, the Vice President of the 1% Motorcycle Club Northwest End MC. Philosophy on the road.
This is a good conversation to convey the atmosphere of our communication. I recommend not watching on a mobile phone, but rather putting it on a large screen. While we prepare breakfast, dinner, or anything else, a beautiful image will play in the background. It's like the trendy podcast now. This will be a podcast with a beautiful picture. Think of it this way: interesting questions, intriguing topics. We will continue to capture such things for history and to broaden our horizons. What happens to whom and how. Come on, come on, come on. The exhaust system resonates well with the headset. Are you starting to get used to the hair in the helmet?
It still feels completely like I've smoked marijuana. Here!
Mufflers nearby prevent me from hearing everything clearly. Later, it will be possible to properly match the sound from your headset recording and include what is needed. I have a question. How much does the motorcycle club care about its image and how it is perceived by the motorcycle community, the biker community, and others?
Listen. Listen, he doesn't care at all. At some point in your life, you reach a significant stage where you truly realize you no longer need to pretend to be someone you're not. It is what it is. If you're an asshole, care or not, sooner or later that rude person will definitely reveal their true colors. The club is the same way. To be honest, the club doesn't care at all about its image. It's essential to remain truthful first and foremost, both with yourself and with your brothers, maintaining integrity in all relationships. Here we go. No matter what it is, that's likely some sort of image or visual representation.
Yeah, I agree. There is a club called Blacksmith MC, and their motorcycle club serves as a guarantor of the integrity of its members.
Every club should have this kind of thing. Let's overtake this car on the right.
I prefer not to drive on sand.
Well, let's try something else. Then on the left, by the way, go against the traffic. Let's probably do it that way. There is likely reverse traffic there.
Now we need to drive in.
Go ahead and drive in. We'll eat slowly.
Returning to the guarantors, a guarantor for business, including for business transactions. To be a guarantor requires a distinct focus on how the club is perceived by people.
How can we effectively take care of this image by using this club and any other similar organization as an example? Where exactly does this guarantee originate from, right? None of the club members were liars or let anyone down. That's your whole image. It's essential to recognize that a person can be trusted.
Then let's say a candidate from former members of another club comes to the club. Will you learn about his past and the reasons for his departure?
As much as possible.
As much as possible. If he left there poorly, or has the image of a dishonest person, for example, someone who has betrayed people, a nasty person.
There was a practice that, as time has shown, turned out to be erroneous and incorrect. For them, he comes across as a deceitful liar, but for us, he is simply a poor guy facing tough circumstances. Therefore, if we look at the statistics, which again show that in my experience, it has never happened that he was a jerk there and turned out to be a decent guy here. So, are you squeezing through, Adapt?
Get in line on the right side. Yeah, squeeze through.
Oh, everyone there is doing poorly.
Yeah, let's go after him. It's not that far.
No, Alexander, I feel uncomfortable about you.
Well, alright, let's do it. We'll talk from a distance for now. By the way, my motorcycle handles width really well, better than any Sportster.
I understand. Accordingly, practice shows based on real experience.
Yes.
Good. I have a question. How involved is the club in the personal life of its members? That is, for example, if something happens to him, some troubles, how much the other members support or help? How much does the club care about how these situations are resolved?
I'm gonna pass on the right now. Oh no, it's fine.
How much?
100% because it can't be any other way.
Come on, turn the knob a bit. If you understand that a person, a club member, is facing some troubles in business or other matters and is on the verge of making a mistake, on the brink of acting dishonorably, how important are his personal matters to the club? Will the club advise or get involved in the situation?
100% as much as possible.
In other words, it's like saying, hey bro, you've got this situation going on. Take a look at it from a different angle.
Look, in the club, everyone is doing different things, and in some cases, you might need some specialized advice. For instance, if you're doing plumbing in your office, why would you ask a tattoo artist where to hang a toilet? And if you have problems, like some assholes are bothering you, and you need to beat someone up. Do you understand? And depending on the situation, you will consult with different people. All people are alive with their own unique traits. Everyone has a different level of competence in various matters, especially regarding advice and other related topics. Maybe even like this. Why did you listen to him? You know he's just being himself. Well, it's like asking me about computers, It makes no sense.
Well, that means it's okay to ask for advice on what to do. But what if it's a more serious question than reinstalling Windows on a computer? What if it's a question about choosing a life path?
It's a strange question because the people in the club are basically your closest friends. It's easy to give advice when you don't care about a stranger. And when accordingly you actually care about it, you'll think about it 10 times, discuss it with him, and worry about it.
Naturally.
There have been questions of a life strategic nature. Should I divorce my wife or try to restore our relationship? If I choose to restore it, what is the best way to do that? Some questions related to kids, health, or any random stuff, starting from, how to patch jeans or slap a sticker on here. And like that, other similar questions, separated by commas.
Okay.
You consult with those whose opinions you respect.
All right, here's a question. If the club finds out and it goes public that a club member acted dishonestly,
it needs to be leveled, it needs to be corrected, they could even kick you out for this. How do we get from here to the Murmansk highway?
I really don't know.
Well, let's go like this, and we'll turn somewhere later.
Sure, let's proceed with it. That is, accordingly, the club cares about how their member behaves. By the way, smoothly transitioning to the question, when is a club member considered a member of the club, and when can they say that it's personal matters and they are acting not on behalf of the motorcycle club?
No, that's complete nonsense, because that can't happen by definition.
For a person to be, at one moment, part of the club, and at another moment, oh, I'm not part of the club, sorry.
No, there's no flu in the club, or there is, that's it. Well, that's bullshit. You can't be a little bit of a scoundrel. Here I'm a jerk, and there I'm a decent guy, you know? Either a jerk or a decent guy.
Well, accordingly, the club analyzes all similar situations, evaluating the actions of all participants. Or in your club, due to the small number of members and extensive experience, do no problematic situations arise?
They arise in any case. You see, it's simple. A guy gets drunk and someone tells him, "Buddy, you're acting like crap, let's not drink." You know, it's a common story when someone is just banned from drinking. Bro, you're acting up, so just chill. In my youth, I also used to drive drunk all the time, and my older brother came up to me and said, "Alexander, enough, slow down." And I quit drinking because it occurred to me that, you know, who other than my close person can really tell if something is going wrong?
There is also road construction further down.
Here's a detour to the left. Look, let's go. We'll turn left. Let's go. Yes, it burns on the pant leg when you stand. You always need to keep your foot off.
Does sand not get into this belt? It hits and rolls away. So there's no mechanism that can break due to sand getting in.
I feel that when you're riding a motorcycle, the cars around you weighing several tons can easily crush you, so a grain of sand in first gear is the last thing to worry about.
Damn, are we not going to knock him down? What, are we turning?
Come on, he's turning too. Are we going?
A deer was running here, just a bit further ahead. It ran onto the road.
I'm a deer and a horse. We have deer around.
Moose, exactly, a lot.
My neighbor in the house next door killed a boar yesterday in his yard.
Where did he come from in his yard?
He was feeding it wheat. The wild boars would come like clockwork at 9 p.m. He fattened it up and killed it yesterday. They often come here. You can walk around with a thermal imager in the evening.
With what?
With a thermal imager, you can walk around here. Wild boars often come out and cabbage grows here. I haven't driven on the right side for about 10 years, probably.
Yes, I understand how inconvenient it is too. Tell me, in your opinion, a new person comes to the club, right? How much time should pass since there are weekly meetings? Are there any general processes? How much time needs to pass to understand what a person is really like? How much time should pass for them to gain member status and be given accordingly the member colors?
Time isn't a significant factor at all. I, for instance, have been the most problematic candidate in the entire history of the club, which you know has been hanging around for about 5-7 years on the avenue. And at some point, it no longer matters what status we are in, as long as you are with those you wanted to be with. This is a typical mistake that everyone thinks about time. The last handground that was kicked out was also waiting. He says, "I've been hanging around for 2 years." In the end, it's all for nothing.
So indeed, actions truly speak much louder than mere words, right?
Yes, everything is clearly visible and easy to see. As the years go by, you come to understand who people are and what they represent. Because it's a common situation when a person goes out of their way to be nice, offering tea, like a waiter in the service industry. This is, a theme from the service industry. And then a situation arises, and you realize that he's a scumbag. We had such a genuinely polite and respectful guy, who always treated everyone with kindness and consideration. Everything was good. He would offer you coffee and pour it. And at the event, he stands next to you, holding a gun. He was just the perfect prospect. But then this crap happened. We were coming back from somewhere after a run in the early morning, around 6 or 7 a.m., tired and wet, and we called the clubhouse. We broke down about 20 kilometers from the clubhouse. Hey, Max, come and meet us. He replies, yes, okay, I'll be there soon. We stood there waiting. We started to get worried. The guy suddenly disappeared and stopped responding altogether. We thought something happened. In the end, we fixed the motorcycle there by ourselves. In short, we arrive at the club, and he just put his phone on airplane mode, turned to the other side, and went back to sleep.
Listen, what do you think? Does the MC world change over time? In some manifestations, it becomes more mainstream. And the people coming in are changing. A generation has already changed, and the old school is practically gone. The young are fully embracing riding motorcycles. How on earth can you even do that?
Of course it changes. Everything is changing. Something is adapting. A similar evolution is happening everywhere.
Is it getting worse?
Well, that's quite a subjective judgment, for better or worse. There's this thing that once these trees were taller and the lemonades tasted better. It's fundamentally a matter of how you perceive things.
I've noticed that at your club, we engage in communication quite closely, and it appears you have a very limited flow of visitors, comprising just a small handful of individuals. Why aren't you doing any separate recruiting or promoting membership in the motorcycle club?
Why are they needed? What's the point of promoting if the goal is simply to have a large number of people involved?
To have more people.
Why is this necessary?
To create more opportunities for organizing events, businesses, or perhaps something else.
Damn, that's also an approach. There are different approaches. Like in Muslim countries, there are a lot of kids, like with the gypsies, and when something happens, oh, that's not ours, that's someone else's. And having absolutely distant and disconnected relationships with a friend, just to say, there are many of us. Well, I don't know, it seems to me that it's not worth it. So, putting my hand on my heart, count how many people in your life you can truly call a friend. Without this declared word, brotherhood, brother, and other lofty words. Well, truly a friend in every sense of the word. Not in the moment, but in life. Someone you've known for over 10 years.
Well, yes, I have them, but I realize it's not that many.
Well, in fact, one hand is enough for you.
Yes, of course.
Well, there you go. You answered your own question.
Well, look, if we consider the club from the perspective of a business tool, people meet, one is involved in business, the other, they interact. More members, more opportunities. They have an organized group that goes by the name Dagaran. I am affiliated with Blacksmith MC. They have the system in place, with coaches coming in, lectures and training sessions being held, meetings taking place, and records being kept of who is doing what and so on. Does this mean that there are completely different types and goals of the club and a different overall purpose for its existence?
All clubs have different unifying factors. Someone is communicating with others based on all the businesses, tools, and other crap, you know? Do you remember the movie Snatch from 2000?
Yes.
A Jew says being a Jew is good for business. You see, it's the same situation here. Is being in a motorcycle club good for business? For some, this is a joint business. Some unite by profession. You understand? Therefore, absolutely everyone has different models of relationships and business models. They might, for example, not know the name of another member's son or daughter in the motorcycle club. But they know which bank his checking account is with and the account details. You understand? Alexei, what speed are we going? I don't have a speedometer.
We are going 85.
It blows, damn it, right in the ear. Huh?
So, I mean, truly any scenario is possible. That's the very first point to consider. Any approach is chosen by the club itself regarding what it wants to be. If there are scoundrels in the club, then the club will be perceived that way.
Yes, you understand. He might be a scumbag, but he has good business contacts. Do you understand? And here come the deals with conscience. He doesn't seem that much of a scumbag after all. It's their business, their family, so to speak. One shouldn't judge anything here.
Understanding. How often does it happen that someone is dissatisfied with the club's decision on any issue? How frequently is a voice raised and a club member puts forward their proposal? How much weight does dissent carry if it's, for example, one member or two, or say 10% of the club, or 5?
Well, if there is one vote against, they try to convince him, but if he is categorically opposed, no decision is made. If there happen to be 2 votes against the proposal, then there's truly nothing more to discuss or debate further.
How often is it that a member disagrees with a decision and the decision is not made?
Well, it happens often.
What type of questions could lead to such a situation?
It's elementary. The most common issue, for example, regarding the transition from hangout to prospect.
So the question is about accepting a status in the motorcycle club?
Well, that means these are mainly strategic decisions.
Ah, I see. That is, it's not a local issue.
Yes, I won't discuss how many sausages we're bringing to the party, but the questions that could change the fate of the club. Listen, as a rule, if you disagree, you should justify it. I agree because of this and that. Let's suggest something different. How about we do it this way, like this? That's great, let's go. I'm good with everyone. We need to talk, communicate. There's always a way to find common ground.
So, let's return to the important topic of formation now. At this moment, in my personal opinion, I believe that this ideology of self-awareness is currently forming. And who are we? Of course, it's a tribute to that America of the 70s, the films of which we watched in our childhood. The idea of motorcycle clubs came to us from America, along with their charters and hierarchy. All of this came together to create this mix. Rockers, the collapse of the USSR, American history with biker films, and later, communication. Plus the local and temporal reality, the characteristics of the state system, and the needs. All of this came together to create the salad, resulting in what we have now. But now, in my opinion, this can indeed be called by its proper names. Essentially, it is about clearly defining what is considered bad and what is deemed good in various contexts. How to do it right and how to do it wrong. That is to begin actively developing and shaping a specific ideology. What are we even doing here?
Well, actually, the impression you might have that we are currently forming is due to the fact that the media plays a very significant role and information spreads very quickly. However, in general, it has consistently been formed over time. This is also a living organism that mutates according to various circumstances. And just pay attention to how it used to be within the realm of dreams to go to Finland for a jar of berry. We went to this Finnish motorcycle exhibition, MP. And now the Baltic Rally covers 11,000 kilometers across the entire country, and then it's a 5,000 kilometer trip to Baikal. Such circumstances, and we will perform like this. And this also changes us, opening up new perspectives and viewpoints.
Yeah. The mass run from Vladivostok and the subsequent video film revealed a lot. Many people, even those who didn't participate, realized that it can be done easily. If before the dream the goal of life was to travel from Vladivostok across the entire country, now it seems much simpler and can be repeated in a couple of years. So you see?
It's like an American fetish that crossed from west to east, and there it is accordingly.
Yes.
I don't know how many kilometers that is, but I think it's roughly comparable.
Well, yeah, I think so. But that's quite cool, really quite cool. We've all grown up, that's it, no doubt. Hey, do European motorcycle clubs differ a lot from Russian ones?
I don't think so. The members I spoke with are all completely different people as well. Even the members of the same club in different countries and cities are completely different. Just like here. It just seems like everything reaches us with some delay, like the light from a star that no longer exists, but the light from it has only just arrived, and we're like, wow. And now we understand that we ourselves emit this light.
You know what's interesting? Different people come to my weekly motorcycle ride for beginners and guests. I have been observing them for 15 years of conducting motorcycle rallies respectively. During this time, there have been many different participants whose futures will be interesting to follow. And the reasons for entering the motorcycle community as he sees it and why he came. Oh, there's a signal jammer nearby again, I can feel it.
Listen, I'm curious people come, but why do some of them leave afterwards?
Wait, we'll pass the signal jammer. Just hold on, it's somewhere nearby.
Yes, nothing can be heard again.
Why are they leaving? Listen, they are leaving. Some are getting bored and others are disappointed. You know, when a new motorcyclist comes in, they still have rose-colored glasses. The first riding season, new acquaintances, mutual help on the road, and shared rides. They ride until the cold sets in, and then bam, a friend they rode with dies in an accident. Not everyone is mentally prepared to handle that. This is one of the reasons. Understanding that a motorcycle is not just a good pastime, it can also be dangerous. It's just that the loss of loved ones doesn't evoke emotions in you and me. That's how fate is. It's important to remember, and we can do something to preserve their memory. How I visited my friend's grandmother every year for so many years after he passed away. Right now we continue to communicate, but we no longer travel as a large group for objective reasons. This year I came alone. Everything is great. You know, there are people, and I'm in this city chat channel with regular citizens. It's quite interesting. And there, people meet and look for friends. There are about 10 posts a day. I have no friends, no one to go with. I moved from another city. Let's go ice skating or rollerblading together. Let's go swimming or have a barbecue.
And this is my Cheburashka and I are seeking friends. Let's go for a ride in the car.
Sure, go ahead. And I realized, I saw how much this generation of people, not just in terms of age, but in terms of their worldview, lacks friends and communication. They live in a consumer society, with credit, apartments, mortgages, and this is the world where they spend their entire lives. It's not bad. They are not to blame. They have no other choice.
Well, that's true.
They don't know how to communicate in society. The word friendship for them equals drinking in a bar while watching football and going on trips for barbecues together.
What does this say? It says that the motorcycle remains a symbol of freedom and masculinity. Many people who want to radically change their lives switch to motorcycles.
And perhaps they don't have friends, not because he's a jerk, but because he had friends in his life, and then bam, some extreme situation happened, and the friends showed themselves to be weak. They show their true colors as scoundrels despite having been friends since childhood.
Yes, that's possible.
Who knows what has changed in the lives of old friends? After all, the main reasons for quarrels are money or women, and if it smells like prison, that's another story. In Russia, this can happen to anyone. A fight in a bar, standing up for a woman, being set up by business rivals, or something else. Most people are afraid of this topic when the stakes rise to a couple of years in custody. Here, as always, it's unclear who will truly find the courage to not testify against their own. As practice shows, the majority will be looking to save their own skin.
Yes, they usually justify themselves later by saying, well, everyone has their own truth.
Yeah, excuses.
But the truth is always one.
Well, there are just facts.
I'll tell you, as someone who's using a headset on a motorcycle for the first time in my life, I'm blown away. At first it felt like I was just, high and talking to myself. And when there are some questions, it feels like someone is holding my balls with a cold hand. And then the hand warms up, and it seems like everything is fine. You're driving without noticing. You can talk. But time flies quickly, though.
When you record an interview on the road on a motorcycle, it can only be the truth. In Road We Trust. You can't lie about anything, right? You're writing and speaking straight from the heart. Thoughts and conversation flow like a river. The thought is honest because it is free of lies. In this recording, it comes straight from the heart.
It's called a lie detector on two wheels.
Yes, good idea.
Here, prepare the blank.
Маленький северный рай, каменные цветы.